My name's Kristen Krippner. I live in Leura, in a beautiful place with my husband Jim and my mother Joy. I'm 63, my mother is 91. She's my world. I need you to think about what you're going to wear.
Something warm, thank you.
Okay.
How we came to live here in Leura with Joy was that she decided to move up here with us. Joy's cottage is what's called a secondary dwelling. It's only about 6 or 7 metres from us, our place across the deck.
Mama, do you want yogurt with yours today?
Oh, yes, thank you.
I felt secure. Plus, you know, being surrounded by love makes a hell of a difference.
About 2 years ago, she was diagnosed in the initial stages of a mild dementia. It has worsened very gradually. Kristen's dad went into care unexpectedly after a fall and with complications. And we saw what we felt was an unnecessarily rapid decline in him. Our aim is to keep Joy out of aged care as long as possible.
The thing I think of most is how fortunate, I'd put a bloody in there, but how fortunate I am because, you know, you go into these old people's homes and, oh dear, abandon hope.
I think you have to talk about the finances in aged care because it is a big part of how you retain control of the process rather than be forced to take the only option that seems available in a time of crisis.
You have to be informed. Everybody needs to be informed.
I don't think we thought about it with Dad. We were probably a bit on the back foot because it happened unexpectedly. But I do know that most of his pension went on paying for the aged care.
I feel we're giving Mum the best opportunity to be in the real world until the day she's no longer in the real world.
When it comes to care in later life, families are faced with many tough decisions, both emotionally and financially, often during a time of crisis.
I think it's one of those things that we tend to push to the side and then suddenly it's upon you and you're going, oh my gosh, how am I going to handle this? We probably don't prepare enough for it. But clearly we need to rethink the way we approach the end-of-life care.
How much you pay for aged care comes down to individual circumstances, like what kind of help you need, what provider you go with, the services you receive and how wealthy you are. The daily fee, paid direct to your aged care home, is about $50 a day. That's nearly $20,000 a year. That helps pay for things like meals, cleaning and laundry. There's also a means-tested care fee, which can be anything up to around $250 a day. And then, if you can afford it, you're also expected to pay for your room. Now, you can either pay for this as a lump sum amount, which then gets refunded when the room is vacated, or make daily payments, like a hotel. Or you can do a combination of both. Australia's aged care system has just been exposed by the Pagoni Royal Commission as understaffed and with a workforce that's underpaid and undertrained. Now, understandably, a lot of people are opting to stay at home on a funding package that varies according to your needs. But join the queue. You could be waiting for years to get one of those. Senator Jane Hume is the Minister for Superannuation. The federal government is currently considering the Retirement Income Review, led by Mike Callaghan.
One of the things that Callaghan determined was that there is a lack of understanding of the extent to which the health system and the aged care system is subsidised by government in retirement. And that potentially is one of the reasons why people are reluctant to draw down on more capital in retirement, because they fear that they might get sick or they might need to go to aged care, and they don't understand, because the systems are complex, just the extent to which they can rely on the government to help them with that.
While those who can't afford to pay for care will be covered by the government, if you can pay, you're expected to. Senator Hume, the Minister for Superannuation, and also Mike Callaghan, who led the Retirement Incomes Review, both say that people shouldn't be concerned about paying for aged care because the government covers so much of it. What do you make of that?
Well, that's certainly not my experience, and I think it depends where you end up. A lot of people don't have the choice to get a government-funded place, so they do what they can.
Who else hasn't got a partner?
Me. My name is Graham McMullen, and I am 68 years old.
My name's Don Jones, and I'm 71.
And I'm 74. I'm 79.
I'm 84 in May.
Ready for a song? Yeah? All right, so here you go.
Every Wednesday night, seniors gather inside the New South Wales Gosford 50 Plus Leisure and Learning Centre. And this dance class might just be the elixir of life.
As soon as I hear the music, it makes me feel like I'm about 16.
I still think I'm 21.
I can do rock and roll, swing. I also do jazz ballet and tap, and anything that goes with music I'll do.
For many here, they don't want to go into care homes, and they're not alone. Exclusive data from Australian seniors reveals 43% of Australians aged 50 plus who were surveyed said the pandemic has changed their view on nursing homes.
I do know a little bit about aged care. I've had a look at a retirement village and I thought, that's not for me.
I wouldn't want to go into a nursing home.
I get depressed when I think of anything like that. That's why I do all the dancing. I'm not going to have enough money in my super. Now we've just lost a whole pile of it from this COVID.
I'm 71 and I did retire, and now with very low interest rates, I'm back in full-time work and supplementing the retirement fund.
And I live in a relocatable home park because that's all I could afford. As far as I know, I'll only have enough for another 3 years. The minute I feel down, I put music on.
When it comes to funding the aged care system, a total of $27 billion was spent in 2018-19. More than 75% was paid by the taxpayer and around 20% by the recipients of aged care.
We all know there's going to have to be substantial increase in funding in aged care, very substantial increase in funding. But it's not just funding, of course. People want to see better quality in that, how those funds are being used.
The Department of Health says they'll respond to the funding issues raised by the Aged Care Royal Commission, including suggestions of a Medicare-style levy, in the upcoming budget. Could you explain the system of the sort of HEX loan type system that you came up with recently to help fund aged care?
We set up home and community care to keep people at home. The problem is there's now 100,000 people who have been awarded packages who can't get them. The Commonwealth's just not providing them. So what I believe should happen is the Commonwealth should open a wealth account for every aged person and advance to them loans to have those packages. And let's say somebody's getting a $25,000 package and they have it for 4 years before they die, say. That $100,000 is owed to the Commonwealth from the estate, right? In other words, we move away from any idea of a pre-funding to a post-funding package.
What if they haven't got any money in their estate? What if there's nothing in the estate?
Well, the Commonwealth pays that. In other words, it's a contingent loan, just like HEX. Like in a HEX loan, if a young person gets a degree and then never works, the loan's not repayable. The same would happen with aged care. The problem about pre-funding, that is, the problem about, and I've been into this idea over the years about a longevity fund, is that we need to do this 30 years ago. So the fund would now have scale. But there's so many people now of retired age, the baby boomers, a group of them, there's no way some pre-funding model is going to do that. So I believe we should move to a post-funding model, and we can do it with loans, just like HEX.
And you think, you're saying that those loans should be focused entirely on home care, staying at home, not on going into a nursing home?
No, now the funding of nursing homes, low care, middle care and high care and nursing homes, a different issue again, and nursing home standards are appalling, and that's what the Royal Commission has directed its attention to, appropriately in my view, you know. So There needs to be a big change in the outlays in respect of the quality of nursing home attention, staffing, responsibility, accountability, but that's after you go into care. The key to the whole cost is to keep people at home.
Born during the Great Depression, Velma Pearl McCallum lived through the Korean War, the Vietnam War and the Cold War. She became a librarian, a pharmacist and a lecturer. Now 88, Velma lives alone.
I've lived in this home for 18 years. I have lived alone ever since my husband passed away in 2004.
I've got your photos in here for you, so would you like me to lift them out?
I had a stroke early last year. I had a back condition which has worsened. I've been diagnosed as a diabetic. I now need help with most household tasks. I was assessed as needing level 3 home care package, but I was allocated only a level 2 with a vague promise that level 3 would appear soon afterwards. I've had notification that the home care package has been approved. In order to pay for the extra care that I need, I applied for and was granted a pension loan which involved mortgaging my house. And if it were not for this scheme, I would have to go into permanent care because I wouldn't be able to afford to live in my own home. In my case, it doubles the part pension that I receive, and that roughly covers the carers and the gardener. My goal is to stay in my own home as long as possible.
While there are these waiting lists, I think people even using the pensioner loan scheme to help support themselves to achieve the services that require, not to suffer now when you've got the assets available there that you can deal with some of the needs you have now. I think that's a sensible thing to do, to be able to use your assets to meet your requirements.
No matter what your views are, from the day we're born, all our financial decisions have a flow-on effect. The choices we make and the ones that are made for us matter. Navigating the retirement system right through to old age is not easy. But as with anything in life, knowledge is power.
It's up to us as consumers to do our research and to work out where the best place is to put our money. Get informed.
It can actually be the difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement.
What people need is advice.
And that's why super matters so much, Helen. That's why superannuation matters just so much.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.